Lê Thanh Huyền was born on February 18, 1996, in Haiphong, Vietnam. Into a family where sports were not a central focus, but physical activity was encouraged. From a young age, Huyền demonstrated an innate talent for sports, frequently participating in school athletics events and impressing her teachers and peers with her speed and agility. Her interest in running grew as she joined her school's athletics team, initially participating in sprints and short-distance events. Her potential was quickly recognized by her coaches, who saw that her natural ability could be honed with the right training. At the age of 11, Lê Thanh Huyen's parents enrolled her in the Haiphong Athletics Club, where she started formal training under the guidance of professional coaches. It was during this period that she began focusing on track and field events, especially the 100 and 200 meters sprints. Her early training was intense, and she quickly adapted to the rigorous schedules of competitive athletics. Huyen's hard work paid off when she won her first provincial title in the 100 meters event at the age of 14, showcasing her promise as an up-and-coming sprinting talent. By the time Huyen was 15, she was already competing at the national level, taking part in the Vietnam National Youth Athletics Championships. Her consistent performance and ability to match up with older, more experienced competitors earned her a place in the national team. Huyen's rapid development as a sprinter pointed to a bright future in Vietnamese athletics, rising to prominence and national success. As she continued to mature both in training and competition, Huyen began making a name for herself on the national athletics circuit. Her breakthrough came at the Vietnam National Athletics Championships in 2013, where she earned a podium finish in the 100 meter sprint, securing third place. This achievement was a testament to her growing abilities and set the stage for her ascent in Vietnamese athletics. Her performances in the following years saw a rapid improvement. By 2015, Lê Thanh Huyen had not only solidified her status as one of Vietnam's top sprinters, but she had also started to attract attention on the regional stage. At the 2015 Southeast Asian Games, SEA Games, Huyen made her debut in the 100 and 200 meter sprints, finishing just outside the podium in both events but gaining valuable experience against elite competition from across Southeast Asia. Despite not medaling, her performances showed promise, and it was clear that Huyen had the potential to compete at the highest levels. In 2016, Lê Thanh Huyen had a breakout year, dominating national competitions and continuing to lower her personal bests. At the Vietnam National Athletics Championships, she claimed gold in both the 100 meters and 200 meters, firmly establishing herself as the top female sprinter in the country. Her success at the national level earned her a place on the Vietnamese athletics team for the 2017 SEA Games in Malaysia. This was a pivotal moment in Huyen's career, as she was ready to face her toughest competition yet on a regional level. Career peak and major achievements. Huyen's career reached its peak during the 2017 SEA Games, where she competed in the 100 meters and 200 meters events. The competition was fierce, with sprinters from countries such as Thailand, Indonesia, and the Philippines showcasing their best performances. Despite the challenging field, Huyen delivered a stunning performance in the 100-meter final, winning the silver medal with a time of 11.56 seconds, just narrowly missing out on gold. This was a historic achievement, as it marked the first time in over a decade that a Vietnamese woman had medaled in the 100 meters at the SEA Games. Huyen's performance in the 100-meter final solidified her position as one of Southeast Asia's premier sprinters, and the silver medal was a clear indication of her status as a top athlete. In the 200 meters event, she also delivered a strong performance, finishing in fourth place and setting a new personal best of 23.74 seconds. Although she did not medal in the 200 meters, her performance was still considered a significant achievement and demonstrated her versatility as a sprinter. Following the SEA Games, Huyen continued to improve and set new records. She set a national record in the 100 meters in 2018, running a time of 11.47 seconds, a mark that still stands as one of the fastest times in the history of Vietnamese sprinting. Her achievements in both the 100 meters and 200 meters made her one of the most recognizable athletes in Vietnam. And her success helped raise the profile of Vietnamese athletics on the regional stage. In addition to her success at the SEA Games, Huyen also achieved impressive results at the Asian Athletics Championships. In 2018, she finished in the top 8 in both the 100 meters and 200 meters, showcasing her ability to compete against some of the best athletes in Asia. Her performance at the Asian Championships highlighted her growing status as an international competitor and further established her as a top sprinter in Southeast Asia. Challenges and setbacks. Despite her impressive rise to prominence, Thanh Huyền faced her share of challenges in the years following her career peak. In 2019, she was plagued by injuries that affected her training and competition performance. A series of minor injuries, including strains and muscle tightness, forced Huyền to take time off from competition. These setbacks came at a critical time, as she was aiming to qualify for the 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Her injuries prevented her from competing at her full potential in key regional competitions, and she was unable to replicate the form that had made her one of Southeast Asia's top sprinters. Hwen's struggles with injury were compounded by the global COVID-19 pandemic, which led to the postponement of the 2020 Tokyo Olympics and disrupted the athletic calendar for over a year. Despite the difficulties she faced, Hwen remained determined to return to peak form. She focused on rehabilitation and recovery, working closely with medical professionals and her coaches to overcome the injuries that had hindered her progress. Her resilience and determination to return to the track were evident as she gradually made her way back to competitive racing. Final years and transition to coaching. By 2022, Thanh Huyền had fully recovered from her injuries and was ready to make a comeback. However, the COVID-19 pandemic had taken a toll on her competitive career, and she was no longer able to compete at the same level as before. Despite this, she still managed to finish in the top ranks of national competitions, though her times in both the 100 meters and 200 meters were not as fast as they had been in her peak years. In 2023, after competing in a few more national and regional meets, Hwen made the difficult decision to retire from competitive athletics. Her retirement marked the end of a highly successful career, but it was also the beginning of a new chapter in her life. Having been one of the leading sprinters in Vietnam for over a decade, Hwen's transition from athlete to coach seemed like a natural progression. After her retirement, Thanh Huyền became a coach for the Vietnam Athletics Federation, focusing on sprinting and helping develop young athletes with the potential to follow in her footsteps. She passed on her extensive knowledge of training, technique, and mental preparation to the next generation of sprinters, ensuring that her legacy would continue through the athletes she mentored. As a coach, Hwen emphasized the importance of discipline, hard work, and resilience. She shared her own experiences, from her breakthroughs at the SEA Games to her struggles with injuries, to teach her athletes that setbacks are part of the journey to success. Her impact as a mentor was evident as many of her trainees went on to achieve personal bests and medals at national and regional competitions.